Hi, Nayara. Hi, guys. Good morning. Good to see you, Nayara. Good to see you, Jonathan. So, today, guys, is June 10th. Yes, already. So, let's see our topic for today. Today, we start the new unit, Unit 12. Yay, finally, right? So we are going to do page 76, all right? And the topic of our lesson today is really interesting. It's something like we see every day. We watch on TV, we read newspapers, the news, okay? And don't worry about the homework posted here because it's only due on June 15th, all right? So here I posted a newspaper headline just to show you, and I posted also here a site with newspaper vocabulary so you can know more about the language they use in newspapers. So do you read the news on newspaper, or do you watch TV or check the news online? Which one is your favorite way to know about the news? Yes, usually use online. Okay. So here is the page. Okay, can you all see that, guys? Oh my goodness, really, Jonathan? Wow. Are you okay now? Are you feeling better? Oh my goodness. Oh, thank God. Yeah, you had this, what they call allergic reaction. Yeah, my goodness, Jonathan. Wow, terrible. Okay, I hope you get well soon, right? You just have to take a kind of uh, medicine to stop the allergy, and then you can go back to normal. Okay. All right, people. So this is our page. Last unit, unit 12. Okay. As you can see here, it's all about the news. Okay. So let me just zoom in so you can see better. Can you visualize that? Yes? Okay, guys. So first of all, we should look at the picture and just write the letters in the circles according to the image. Okay, what do you see there? Write the correct letter, then listen and check your answers. So here we have the words weather report, newspaper, reporter, tabloid, article, paparazzi, headline, and celebrities. That's very easy. So I'll give you, here you have the images, okay? So I'll give you 2 minutes to do that and then we correct, okay? Go ahead. Okay, yes, are you done? So let's see what you did. Um, the first one here, actually, let's follow the numbers instead of the letters. What did you put here for number one, guys? So if you chose letter C, yay, you're right. Reporter. This guy here is a reporter. Now, number two. What did you put for number two? Yes, paparazzi. Great. So if you chose letter F, you're right. Now, number three. Who are these people? Yes, of course. They are celebrities. Letter H. Good. What about number four? We are referring to this kind of newspaper here. Okay. What newspaper is this? Yes, if you chose letter D, you are correct. Tabloid. This is a tabloid. So, a tabloid is a newspaper that focuses on gossip, celebrities, okay? Nothing really important. So, it's a tabloid. All right. Number five. What kind of show is this? All right. If you chose letter A, exactly. This is the weather report. Okay, excellent. Very good, Nayara. Weather report. This is the kind of show he's watching. Okay. Now, number six. What do we call these items here? Okay, here we have actually two different things, right? The arrow is not very clear. We have number six, number seven, and number eight pointing to pretty much the same thing, right? So I think number six is more general. Number seven is more specific. And number eight too. Because if you can see here, number seven is pointing to the big letters, the big font on the newspaper cover. And number eight is pointing to the text, okay, in the newspaper. So number six would be letter B, okay? Newspaper in general. Now, let's go to number seven. What do we call number seven? Pointing to the big font that we see in every newspaper. If you see a newspaper cover, you will notice the big um, letters. They are very highlighted. Yes, very good. That's letter G. Okay. So newspaper headline uh, is exactly the big, uh, big words that you see on the newspaper covers. They are usually very big. Everybody can see. Okay. We call them headlines. Headlines in general. Okay. And okay, number eight, look, they are pointing to the text, not really the item, but they're pointing to the text. So here it's a newspaper article. Okay, so this is letter E. Article, article. Okay, so the text in a newspaper, we call them articles. All right, newspaper article, newspaper headline, and here simply newspaper. Okay. Okay, no problem. That's all right. Don't worry. All right, people. So, number one, reporter. Number two, paparazzi. Number three, celebrities. Number four, tabloid. Number five, weather report. Number six, newspaper. Number seven, headline. And number eight, article. Okay, very nice. Now, let's see here, guys. Um, there is a very nice place in the United States that is called museum. Have you ever heard of this place? As you can see, it's like a museum, but it's called museum. Museum. So museum is the combination of news and museum. Okay, people. So here they have this amazing museum only about the news, only with artifacts, objects, everything related to the news. So it's very interesting. They even have a site on the internet that gives you the front cover of all the newspapers in the world, or at least the most important ones. So they even have the newspapers from Brazil. Yes, all the front covers are there. Okay, so let me show you a little bit about this museum in, I think it's in New York, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very interesting place to visit. Let me try to minimize here and take you there. Okay, here we are. Can you see the YouTube site? Okay, so this is like we're going on a very short tour of this museum, okay, which is called museum. Before we start, I'd like to take a picture just to register our attendance so far. Let me save here. What do you think, guys, you will find in this museum? What do you believe you will find there? Old newspapers? Yes, probably. Yes, of course. The first newspapers that were ever published could be. A history of some important newspapers, yes. Some amazing news reports that became anthologic. Okay, yes, some news reports that are like unforgettable until today, some events that happened and were covered by the media, like for example the attack on the World Trade Center September 11th, yes, and many other events that marked our generation, that marked humanity through the years. Yes, probably you will see something like that there. something about it, about the people who covered that event. Very nice. Okay. All right. Hi, Shayani. Good morning, dear. How's it going? Good to see you here. So let's try to watch this video here. Hi, Shayani. Good morning. Are you good? Yes? Okay, welcome. So we are going to see a little bit about this fantastic museum. Okay, guys, it's called Museum, right? Let's take a look there.
I don't know where I would be today without the guarantees of the First Amendment.
The museum is designed for you to start your tour where you are now, the concourse level. Then take the glass elevators to the top, the 6th floor, and work your way down. Here's what you don't want to miss on each floor.
We were standing on the western side of the wall, and on the other side of the wall was this voice saying, "Help, help, help."
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Without protest, the Berlin Wall certainly would never have come down.
After 9/11, the FBI changed very quickly to protect the nation from global terrorism.
A cyber attack of epic proportions.
There's been an explosion at the Boston Marathon.
What you have to look at is highly classified.
There's a natural tension between law enforcement and the press.
The views up here are amazing.
The messy, glorious, and conflicted press for democracy.
There will always be those in the media who seek the truth and those who distort it.
Speak up, speak out, make some noise.
4 college freshmen were refused service, and the civil rights sit-in was born.
It was surreal, unlike anything you could ever imagine.
Something else just hit. There's been another collision.
Oh my God, there it goes!
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack.
Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest our rights.
Only 13% of the world's population today live in countries where the press is free.
Journalists everywhere risk their lives when they go into these dangerous places to shine that bright light on truth.
The
the whole environment changes with every new technological development.
The landscape created by social media changes everything.
If it makes you laugh, if it makes you cry, if it rips out your heart, it's a good picture.
When I saw that on the light table, I went, wow.
It's an honor to be a photographer or writer. If I care about something, I can make 500,000 people care about it.
It makes me, hang on to that naive belief that we can change the world.
What I find unique about this museum is it is very current, very necessary, and very moving.
It's great, isn't it, guys? It's a nice place to visit. I think it's in Washington. Okay, it's not in New York. So if you want to visit the museum, you have to go to Washington, D.C. Okay. So that was really great, wasn't it? A nice place to go and see history documented, So you can see a lot of different, stories, things that happened in the world, and we'll never forget them. Like, for example, the attacks, right, we had on September 11th. Those were really, really bad, and we'll never forget that. Plus the photography gallery. Did you see that on the first floor? This is something really amazing. A picture speaks louder than many words. So if you just have a good picture, you can create history by showing, actually, you take a picture of something that happened in a way that expresses exactly what the people in the picture are going through. Wow, that's really nice. So being a photographer is also part of being like a partner in making history and documenting history as well. So it's nice. The pictures are all there in that gallery you saw on the first floor. Those pictures are historical. Okay, that's really amazing. Hi, Amandinha, good to see you. Welcome. So in the beginning today, guys, we did, as you can see, the beginning of Unit 12, okay? And we are talking about the news, all right? So for that, we saw the vocabulary here, and we talked about the museum, which is a museum for the news, about the news, that is in the United States, and more specifically in Washington. So if you pay a visit to Washington, make sure you go to the museum, okay? Here we saw the words, right? We've already seen that. So I'll just review the pronunciation for the students who just arrived. So in the first one, it's a reporter. Number 2, paparazzi. Number 3, celebrities. Number 4, a tabloid. A tabloid is a newspaper about celebrities, about unimportant matters, about gossip, that's a tabloid. Number 5, the weather report. Number 6, this is a newspaper. So these are newspapers. Number 7, here we have the headlines. So headline are the big words we see on the front cover of a newspaper. Those big words, we call them headlines, right? And finally, number 8 is article or newspaper article. This is the text you find in a newspaper, okay? Okay, guys, after doing that, let's move on to number 2. Complete the chart with the words in the box. Then add more words from the picture. So the picture here, okay? Here, the first column refers to news people or news professionals, right? People who work with the news. The second one, the things they produce. And the last one, the subjects they cover, okay? So here we can divide. For example, the first one, news people, the editor. That's a very important professional, okay? The editor is the person who actually writes the articles, and sometimes he corrects the things that other people wrote, and he makes it really clear and easy to understand. He fixes any errors, any problem that the article might have. So the editor is really important in a newspaper or magazine, okay? So let's write it down there. Okay. Which one here is another professional or a person involved in the media or in the news? A blogger. Okay, let's put there. Okay, very nice. The next one, journalist. Okay, good. All right, so here in the box, as news people, we can see editor, blogger, and journalist. Any other people? Let's see any other from here. Reporter, paparazzi. Okay, they can also be considered news people. Okay, so let's put them here. And the next one, paparazzi. Let's see if there is any other people. No. Celebrities, they are the subject actually covered, okay? Now, things they produce. What are the things they produce, people?
Column.
Column, very nice. Okay. They write columns for newspapers. Okay. What else do they produce? Let's see if we find here in the look. Newspaper, tabloid, article, all these things are produced by the news people, right? Weather report. So let's put there. They produce articles. They also produce newspaper. Okay. But they can also produce a tabloid. A tabloid is a newspaper with not an interesting, but unimportant subjects, like for example, gossip, celebrities, okay? Weather report, okay? These are the things they produce, okay? Let's take a look there. Let's see if there is any other thing here that we are missing. Oh, headline. We forgot. So let's write it down. They produce headlines. They are the ones who choose which headline to put on a newspaper. Okay. So column, article, newspaper, tabloid, headline, weather report. Now, what are the topics they cover? Here, the first one, yes, sports. What else? Good, very nice, excellent, Jayani. Politics, okay. Politics, this is how we say that. Politics, politics, it's the topic, okay. Okay, what else? Gossip. Okay. Business, all right. I would think maybe gossip, I wouldn't put here. Thinking again, I guess gossip matches more here. They produce gossip because they publish gossip. So gossip in general is not like a subject, but something they produce. Okay. So let's change gossip and move gossip over here. Okay. I think it's better. Even though it is connected to a topic, but a gossip can be about a celebrity, can be about politics, can be about many different topics. So a gossip is more like a kind of text. Okay. So sports, politics, business, what other topic do they talk about? Let's see there. Do we have any topics here? Celebrities, yes, that's the topic. Okay, guys, which topic do you mostly like to read about when you watch TV, the news, or when you read a newspaper? If you read or even check something online, which one is your favorite topic? Sports, politics, business, celebrities? I I usually read about them all. I read about politics, sometimes business, sometimes sports, celebrities too, because it's funny, right? Sometimes you have funny news about celebrities, and then I just read for fun. Okay, everybody likes to read gossips about celebrities and stuff, so you can also read about movies, about movie releases. Okay, you can find some movie reviews. Movie releases, like new movies, to know about the new movies that are playing, or even the TV guide, which is also another section of a newspaper uh, that is really interesting. Let me put here things they produce, TV guide. That's also interesting to check. Okay. Here, I will separate here. I will put movie releases. Movie reviews is something they produce. Okay. I will put here. And here, movie releases as a topic. Okay. Okie dokie, guys. Pretty much, this is what we have from the news, from the media, actually, from journalists, right? Here we have the professionals, things they produce, and also subjects they cover. Okay. They have also subjects about music, cultural events, right? So let's put there. So the site I posted for you there, let me show you our page again on Google Classroom. Just a second. Let me just save the things I wrote. Okay. And then clear the drawings so that I can show you the page on Google Classroom. Here. I posted a site with newspaper vocabulary there, so you know some words related to newspapers. You can take a look there. Okay, look. Okay, let me make a little bigger for you. Okay, can you see that? Yes, people. Look, this is a collection of useful vocabulary for newspapers, all right? So then you have a list, okay, of words. Tabloids, broadsheets. So tabloids, like we saw before, they are gossip newspapers, okay? Can you see that? Okay. Broadsheets, they are newspapers printed on large sheets, which are usually considered more serious. So can you give me an example of a broadsheet here in Brazil? Yes, o Globo. Yes, Folha de São Paulo, Estadão. Okay, very nice. These are broadsheets. Okay. Now we have here daily, weekly, monthly newspapers according to when they are released. So papers printed, if it's daily, they are printed once a day. If it's weekly, they are printed once a week. If it's monthly, they are printed once a month. Okay. They also have quarterly newspapers. These newspapers are printed once every 3 months, okay? Heavy newspaper, a newspaper with serious content. We can call it a heavy newspaper. Gutter press, newspapers which focus on sensational journalism, often about the lives of famous people. So, gutter press, we don't have that here in Brazil, do we? Do we have gutter press newspaper? I don't remember. Yeah, we can have some gutter press sections, sorry, in some newspapers that we find here in Brazil, but not the whole newspaper gutter press. Okay, but we can have, for example, Extra and Meia Hora, I think, right? But it's not about famous people. Extra has a section about famous people. So, but sensational journalism, I don't know. I don't know if we have that kind of paper here. So a periodical, what is a periodical? A newspaper or magazine published for at regular intervals, okay? Local newspaper or regional newspaper, it's a newspaper which contains news from a particular area. And a national newspaper, it's one that contains news from the whole country. So here, guys, you can explore the site. They have many things. Look, these are considered the newspaper contents, what we find in a newspaper, okay? So here we can see headlines, which is manchetes in Portuguese, okay? So headlines, they are headings or title appearing at the top of a page. You have columns, obituaries, horoscope, weather report, business section, international or world news section. You have a caption. A caption is a small explanation of the title matching a picture or a cartoon. That's a caption. There is the letter to the editor, some special features. A special feature is usually a special story published on that specific day. Editorial. The editorial is a news article containing the editor's opinions. So that's an editorial. Comic strip is the cartoon series in the newspaper. I think here in Brazil, every newspaper has a small comic strip section. Advice column and TV guide. Okay. So here you have the audio to the words, so you know how to pronounce them better, okay? Here you have some other useful vocabulary for newspapers. Okay, guys. So very interesting if you want to study that later in the future. If you want to talk about journalism, it's really nice. And in the end, they have this exercise for you to complete, okay? Using the vocabulary above. So here you have the answers, okay? So this is a very nice site. I really like this. They even explain, right? So here, this is another exercise here, and it's really amazing. Okay, guys, so it's a nice site for you to check for vocabulary and other interesting exercises, okay, to practice your English, because this is a preparation for an exam called IELTS. It's really famous and it's accepted in many different places in the world. It's an international exam. Okay. So that's why it's so good. All right, people, back to our book here. Okay. The final activity says, how do you get your news? Via website, social media, Newspaper, television, radio? How do you usually get your news? I watch TV and I watch the news on TV. Sometimes I read newspapers and sometimes I check a website. What about you guys? How do you read? How do you get your news? Okay. Nowadays, we mostly get our news on websites because we are connected all the time, right? So we use our cell phones a lot, and the news sometimes they pop up on the screen, right? And sometimes we watch them on TV. Okie dokie, guys. So let's move on to the next one so we can advance a little bit. Let's take a look here at the next page, page 77. All right, let's go here. Okay, let me just clear the page. Let me just see what I put here. Oh my goodness, so many notes. Let me eliminate all of them. Okay, now it's clear. So what can you see in the picture, guys? What are they doing? Yes, they are talking probably about a news article or a newspaper article. This guy here, do you remember his name? No, you can see here, look, Marco. Yes. So Marco is sharing a piece of news he found in the newspaper with his friend Anthony. And it seems to be something strange or something weird. Look at his face. Does he look like he believes in what Mark is reading? So let's take a look at the dialogue and try to complete with the missing parts. Let's see what they are speaking, what they are saying. Complete the conversation, then listen and check your answers. Practice the conversation with a partner. So here we have words like reporter, that's crazy, and article. So I'll give you, now it's 11:30, I'll give you 3 minutes to try to complete the missing parts, okay, without my help. See if you can do it. After that, I'll play the audio for you, okay? Go ahead. Okay, guys, while you're doing, by now you may be done already. I will just get the audio, okay, for us. Just a second. Sorry, guys. Are you done? Yes. So let's check out the answers. Okay. I'll play the audio for you, then you can see. Let me see if the audio is on. Yes, it is.
Conversation. Complete the conversation. Then listen and check your answers. Practice the conversation with a partner.
Did you see that article about the world's most expensive speeding ticket?
No. What did it say?
It said the ticket was for $300,000.
$300,000? That's crazy. That's got to be a mistake, right?
I don't think so. The driver asked the judge why the fine was so high. And the judge said that since the driver was a millionaire, he could afford it.
But the law is the same for everyone, isn't it?
Well, this was in Switzerland, and the judge told the reporter that it was legal to fine rich people more.
Then I'm glad I'm not in Switzerland.
Or rich.
Okay, guys, did you get everything right? Yes. So let's put the answers there. The first one is letter C. Okay, great. Number 2. Yes, letter B. Okie dokie. And finally, number 3, letter A. Okay. So let's try to understand some words here. So first of all, he says, did you see that article about the world's most expensive speeding ticket? What is a speeding ticket, guys? Do you know? So first of all, a ticket is something you get when you do something wrong and you are driving, okay? So you're driving your car and suppose you are driving above the speed limit, for example. So the police can take a picture of your car's plate and send the ticket over to your address, and then you have to pay the ticket, right? Usually, here in Brazil, this is how it happens. But in the United States, if you are speeding, if you are driving too fast on the road, the police will go after you. They will make you stop because all the roads there are inspected by the police that are responsible for that road. So they will go after you and they will ask you to stop. Stop, okay? And then you have to stop, and then they will give you a ticket because you're going over the speed limit. Okay, guys. I don't know nowadays if it's still happening, but that's the way it happened when I was there. Okay. They have cameras everywhere on the road, so it's easy for them to see when a car is going faster than what is permitted. So a speeding ticket is something you get because you are driving too fast. So then you have to pay the ticket, okay? You have to pay a fine. All right, people. Yes, here in Brazil, they have radars. They don't send the police. They just have a radar, and the radar takes pictures of the car plates, and they send the ticket over to your home. So you pay, you just get to know you got fined after, okay? All right. So here, the news article is about the most expensive speeding ticket in the world. Wow. So Anthony says, no, what did it say? It said the ticket was for $300,000. That's very expensive for a speeding ticket. Wow. So then he says that $300,000? That's crazy. That's got to be a mistake, right? I don't think so, said Marco. The driver asked the judge why the fine was so high. So here we have another word. Fine here is a noun, and it means the same as ticket, okay? So the fine is what you have to pay when you do something wrong with your car, okay? For example, speeding. If you are speeding, you need to pay a fine for that, okay? All right. Sometimes when you park in a wrong place, right? You are trying to park your car, suppose in front of a school or something like this, and it's not permitted, you can get a fine for that. Okay, so you need to be always careful where you're going to park your car because you can get a fine or a ticket. So he says, the driver asked the judge why the fine was so high. And the judge said that since the driver was a millionaire, he could afford it. Terrible. So what's the meaning of that? He could afford it. So here he's saying that since the driver was a millionaire, he could pay. He had money enough to pay. Okay, so to be able to afford something or to afford something is when you are able to pay for something. You have money to pay. And this, in this case here, the judge gave him this fine or this ticket because the driver was a millionaire. That doesn't make sense. The fine should be the same for everybody, okay? So here, okay. But the law is the same for everyone, isn't it? This is what Anthony said. Well, this was in Switzerland. Oh, so it wasn't in the States. And the judge told a reporter that it was legal to fine rich people more. Wow. So apparently, I don't know if that's true, but apparently in Switzerland, it's legal to fine rich people more. Then I'm glad I'm not in Switzerland. I'm glad means I'm happy. Okay, guys. Here he's saying that I'm happy I'm not in Switzerland. And then Marco says, or rich. Because if you are rich and if you go to Switzerland or if you live there, then you get more expensive tickets for whatever you do wrong. I don't know if that's true, but anyway, okay, guys. So let's listen to the audio one more time, now with better understanding, okay? And then we go.
Conversation. Complete the conversation. Then listen and check your answers. Practice the conversation with a partner.
Did you see that article about the world's most expensive speeding ticket?
No. What did it say?
It said the ticket was for $300,000.
$300,000? That's crazy. That's got to be a mistake, right?
I don't think so. The driver asked the judge why the fine was so high. And the judge said that since the driver was a millionaire, he could afford it.
But the law is the same for everyone, isn't it?
Well, this was in Switzerland, and the judge told the reporter that it was legal to fine rich people more.
Then I'm glad I'm not in Switzerland.
Or rich.
Okay, guys. So since we did today, we did the vocabulary and the conversation. So let's take a look at what we learned today, okay? I'm going to maximize just a little bit. Okay, so what did we talk about today? Let's go back a little bit. First of all, we talked about the news, okay? We saw the vocabulary of Unit 12 and we saw some words related to the news. After that, we saw the conversation of Unit 12 and we discussed about an article that Marco read talking about a guy who paid a very expensive ticket in Switzerland. All right. So here in this conversation, they are introducing the topic of the lesson. So just for you to have an idea, let me highlight here in the conversation. So here we have one indication of the topic. Let me just make it a little bigger so you know. We are going to see this next class, don't worry. But here, look, Marco, is saying what the driver asked the judge. So here he is kind of reproducing what the driver said. So here he says, the driver asked the judge why the fine was so high. So the main focus of this lesson, this unit actually, is to talk about indirect speech. When you reproduce what somebody else said, okay? Here he's saying what the driver said. And here we have what the judge said, okay? Here we have there again, look, the judge said that, okay? So here we have another indication. The judge told a reporter that it was illegal. So here he is reproducing what the driver asked, what the judge said, and what the judge told a reporter. Okay, so these are the verbs we are going to see next class, and also the vocabulary we learned. We learned about speeding ticket, fine, okay, could afford it, so afford something, and I'm glad, okay? I'm glad meaning I'm happy. All right, people. So, excuse me. Okay, so let me minimize this and take you to our page. Wow, on Google Classroom. Oh, right. Can you see that? Yes? So here we have an example of a newspaper headline, okay, for you to see. So this is very important, guys. I don't know if I'll be able to open this now. This is just an example of a headline, okay, guys? This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. So look, stay at home. So that's the headline, okay? All right, here we have vocabulary about newspaper for you, okay? And all the topics from the previous unit. So here, okay, about this unit, you should do online practice vocabulary 1 and 2 only. You don't need to do the first part of the grammar, okay? Just the vocabulary 1 and 2. And take a look at the worksheets I printed here, I posted here actually, about Unit 11. Okay, all that is for June 15th, next class. All right, people. So finally, I'm going to add, okay, guys, don't worry. I'm going to add it here and put page 77, okay? So we did 2 pages today. That's good. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Jonathan, Jayani, Amandinha. Thank you very much, Nayara. I hope to see you again next week. Take care, stay home, avoid going out, and please protect yourselves. If you have to go out, mask. All right, guys, things are getting a little strange. Okay, we have the 3rd wave coming, so be careful. Bye-bye, people. Love you. Take care, okay? Bye-bye. See you. Have a nice weekend.